Hello, Dale, and welcome to the Diverse Creative Podcast. How are you today?
Hi, good. How are you? Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Oh, such a pleasure. I'm doing great. So I'm just going to give everyone who's watching this a little bit of an intro. You are part of the crew that is known as Alter Egos, and you put on a whole bunch of very, very interesting events and festivals, one of which I'm very excited to be participating with this year. That's exciting stuff. So tell me a little bit about yourself. Tell me a little bit about Alter Egos and what it's all about.
Okay, so Alter Egos is two people, myself and my partner, Meryl Rosenberg. We are best mates and have been best friends for years and years, met completely by accident. And Alter Egos was, in fact, a little bit of an accident as well. We woke up one day about 13 years ago, and both of us being horse riders and equestrians decided we wanted to ride our horses in dresses. So,
Oh my God, you're just like me.
Right. And we created an entire event around the whole Game of Thrones vibe. And we did it in my back garden. And we went, let's call it Medieval Fest. And we're going to run a fancy dress for people with horses. And then we went, well, if we're going to do this, maybe we should have some food. And if we're going to do that, maybe we should sell some stuff. And our little event that was meant to be 300 people turned out to be just short of 2,000. And
Wow.
my body corporate went nuts and went, no, not here. And at that point, Meryl and I went, okay, there's something here. So for a couple of years after that, we ran the Medieval Fair, and we found a suitable venue, and we just grew it year after year. And the community kind of came together and went, why is this the only thing that you are doing? Now, bear in mind, Alter Egos, whilst it is a flourishing company, both Meryl and I have multiple jobs in our own capacity. I'm an entertainer for a living. Meryl does graphic design. So this was very much a passion project. And the community went, no, we need more. We need more. So we sat down and went, okay, and we gave a smaller festival a couple of years back. It'll be about 9 years ago now, called Fantasy Fair. And that also just took off. And so it became a thing. And Alter Egos became the company based off the back of Medieval Fair. And we just try every year to kind of do new stuff and try and do fun stuff. We've done Discworld Day as well for the Terry Pratchett fans. That's a huge one on the calendar. And a couple of years back, our fighters at Medieval Fair, our actual legitimate historical fighters, approached us and went, we've been invited to fight overseas and we need to raise money. Now, whilst both Meryl and I in our personal capacities do play in the charity space, we've never done an event for charity. And we went, all right, we're going to raise money for you guys. And A Viking Thing was born. Because if you haven't picked up on it yet, that's the place we like to play. In the past.
Got you.
In the past. In the fantasy. So A Viking Thing was born, and it was born purely to raise funds for these guys to get overseas, which we did. Don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure we raised about 40,000 Rand for them, and they were able to go overseas, and the community loved the festival. So we decided to keep it. So it happens only every second year because we actually just don't have time on our calendars to do everything.
Yeah.
And it happens this year. So we are so excited to have it back. But yeah, it's Alter Egos is a special company. We create a very safe community for people to explore and to do weird stuff and to come out with their freak flag flying with no judgments and step back in time just for a little bit, whether it's fantasy or historical, doesn't matter.
That's incredible. And I mean, I think the best things are really formed out of passion. There's unintentional things that sort of come up just because your heart leads you. They are often the most incredible things. And it definitely sounds like this is one of those things.
Yeah, and Meryl and I have that kind of relationship that she'll go, Disa, I've been thinking. And I go, oh no. Or we'll have this like mad thing. And I'll say, what would be a really good idea? And we know we've got this thing that when we get goosebumps, it's going to be a thing. And I'm very fortunate in her that we've got an incredibly, they say don't do business with friends, but Meryl and I have been friends now going on 23, 24 years. And our skill sets are very complementary. So where you see a lot of these festivals happening and there's a massive, massive team of people behind them, this all stems from two very creative and slightly not so lekker. We're a little bit cooked, the pair of us, but cooked leads to creativity. So we're very proud of what we've created.
And honestly, I mean, I love what you guys have created. And it's funny because your story mirrors mine in a lot of ways. My sister and I have the same sort of relationship where I'm the artist, I'm the musician, I'm the performer, and she's
Yeah.
the sort of graphic designer, internet whiz kid. And the two of us are Tribal Heart Productions. So we have a very
Yeah.
similar vibe to you guys. And it was actually her that put me onto you guys in the first place because she was obviously, she's huge, huge into the fantasy folklore fairy tale thing, just as I am. So we're always sort of
Yeah.
fishing for like-minded people. And she came across one of your medieval fairs. And she was like, we have to go to this one day. We have to go to this one day. And that led me to messaging you guys about a year or two back to say, hey, you know what? I'd love to participate
Yeah.
with what you're doing because it really just looks so up my alley and so incredible. And this year has been the year that it's actually come into being, which is quite incredible. I'm very excited about it because it happens to align with my folklore and fairy tale tour, which I've been doing. So that lines up
Yeah.
super well. So I'm going to be joining you at a Viking thing this year, which is
Awesome.
even more special considering it only happens every second year. What good
Correct.
timing.
Correct.
So tell me a little bit about what people should sort of expect or prepare for if they're coming to a Viking thing. Obviously, buying a ticket is number one. Go and get a ticket. They're on Quicket,
100%.
and on they can
That's
go through
correct.
the Alter Egos website as well.
Yeah, so Vikings is a special one for us because people get people get involved at all of our events. And just to go back very quickly, we are so stoked to have you as well. We are big fans of collaborators, and we are big fans of pushing the agenda of other creatives. And we've had a lot of small businesses come in with us and have really found their place in the world by working with us through our events. So we benefit from obviously having the wonderful creatives like yourself, but then the creators benefit as well. So collaboration in the space is everything. But what to expect at Vikings? So it's an adventure. Straight up, the first thing you've got to do is get a ticket. They are already 80% sold out because people don't wait anymore. They've learned. We like to cap our events so that we don't have, millions and millions and millions of people converging. It's an experience for you to be special. Tickets are on quickets.co.za, but it's not your average flea market. You're not going to come there, wander around the stalls, have an ale, and go home. We have set up activities throughout the entire day, and this is what our fans have come to know and love. Whether you get involved in those activities or whether you are just there to watch people get involved in those activities, it's huge, huge amounts of fun. Vikings has some traditional things that we do, including our Build a Boat competition run by our character Floki. We check if your boats can float. It's hysterically funny and huge amounts of fun.
That sounds like a
We
blast.
always do a ceremonial boat burning at the end of the day, which is very special. We invite people to write notes to their departed loved ones, whether it's family, friends, pets, and we set that boat out onto the lake at Rusty Hook, Rusty is always just game to play whatever games we play. And we set the boat on fire, which is, it's so special to watch. And then, of course, our most famous of all is our fancy dress competitions. We do not call them cosplay because we want anyone to be able to be involved. They are sponsored by Slayer Energy Drink. We love Slayer. They always come to play as well. But people go all out. And the nice thing is that whilst it's a Viking themed festival, we encourage you to do whatever you want. So we have the dragons arriving and we have the Valkyries arriving, and there's no judgments. You may dress as you see fit. But by the same token, I get a lot of people going, dress up's not my thing. And this sounds a little bit hectic. It's not. Even if you arrive in your civilian clothing with your grandmother and your mother-in-law in tow and just want to sit and watch the activities, it's a beautiful day. So a lot happening, including our vendors. We've got some of the most creative and unusual market stalls anywhere in Joburg. You don't really get to see them anywhere else other than at Alter Egos events. Viking horns are on sale. We have got just so much, the most amazing food. It's a lot. So we recommend you go check it out and go read for yourself as to what's going on, because I will forget something.
Yeah, I think you even have some sort of game playing going down. I don't know if it was
Yeah.
Magic I was seeing or something along those lines. D&D, something down that road, right?
Yeah, so D&D joins us at all of our events. Crispin and Easy Gaming Group, they're amazing. And they always tailor their stuff according to what we're doing. And they're a massive attraction at our events. They've got their own dedicated section. And if that's what you want to do all day, just come and tabletop game. We encourage it. We welcome it. Come and sit with Crispin and his team. You'll have the best time.
You see, this is absolutely amazing because I feel like this allows a lot of people that are otherwise normally sort of not finding a place at most common festivals to really find a home. And that's something I've also been working really hard towards creating is, events that sort of people who would generally not leave their houses for fear of being excluded know that they're coming out to be included and find like-minded souls.
100%. We have got a zero tolerance at any of our events for any kind of bullying or any kind of lack of inclusivity. It's something we monitor very carefully. And as you say, whether you are a perfectly normal vanilla family that just wants to come and grab a hot dog and watch the strange people come, we enjoy it. There's a space for you to sit. If you want to come out in all of your finery, compete in every single game that we've got, be loud and proud, we're there for it. Animals are welcome, which is a big thing for me. I'm a dog mom and a cat mom, and we enjoy the animals. We've had animals who've attended every single one of our fairs since we've opened, and we've watched them age, and they come out in their costumes, and people love that as well. So it's a very safe environment for no matter who you are, what you like, and you don't even have to really like Vikings because you can come shop.
Yeah.
So whether Vikings is your thing, whether you followed the folklore, whether you know the history, it doesn't matter. If you're big into that, we do a quiz. If you're not, we've got beautiful, as I say, live music. We're so excited for that. We have got things to see. And even if you, as I say, if you just want to sit and watch the magic unfold, we welcome it. We welcome it. Lots of prizes. Prizes are my favorite thing in the world to give away.
Oh, yeah, I love prizes. They're great.
Yeah. Prizes to give away. You walk away. We've got our most popular thing is probably our giveaway where all of our vendors sponsor an item, and you pay like $30 and you walk away with about 15,000 rands worth of goodies if your name is pulled.
Yeah.
So there's so much stuff all happening, and the only complaint we ever get is there's so much happening, I don't get to all of it.
Yeah.
So we encourage people to, we actually open bookings for our activities early on the Alter Egos website so you can plan your day. So the gates open at 10. By this time I'm doing this, and people don't leave. It's unheard of usually for people to spend a full festival day. We have people queuing 9:45, and by 5 o'clock we have to say, listen, please take your Viking ale and your drum and go home.
Amazing. For me as an artist who really creates content that is very much about mythology, folklore, fairy tale, a lot of Norse and Viking and Germanic legend is mixed into the lyrics that I sing about.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about this because I feel like a lot of the content that I create is going to find people that resonate with it and that know what I'm talking about. I've been really doing the last couple of shows where I've been doing this big sort of storytelling vibe before each song to explain to people what it is I'm on about. So it's a very exciting thing to have people that I feel are kind of already interested, already coming in with a little bit of knowledge, and we'll get it. Absolutely. Yeah. So it's definitely a perfect festival for me to come and associate with and join in with.
You're gonna love it.
I'm so keen. I also love the fact that this kind of the whole Alter Egos thing started out of fancy dress sort of riding event, because for me, I've been a horse rider my entire life, and one of my huge things as a kid and a teenager was fancy dress on horseback. Was totally
100%.
A deep passion of mine. So I feel like that is such a great place to begin, because honestly, we all grew up throwing all of ourselves into that. So I'm really excited that that's where you guys come from.
For sure. And I think one of the things that we always say is, people get old when they stop making believe. You stop making believe. And I think that's why there is such a massive cosplay culture in South Africa and in the world, actually, and why people, a lot of people will look at us and go, oh, we're weird. I had somebody arrive, I'm a quiz master for a living, and I had somebody arrive at one of my quizzes last week and go, I've never seen you in civilian clothes. Every time I've seen you, you've been dressed crazy. And I think that's what keeps us as young at heart as what we are, is that 3 to 5 times a year we get to make believe, and make
Mm.
believe with anything between 2,500 and 3,500 people who just want to live that fantasy. And it's really very special. I can be a kid. I'm looking so forward to Vikings, where I get to, draw face paint on and go around and, be the Viking. And
Yeah.
we've never had people go away and say, oh, I didn't leave with the most incredible core memories. We create, everything's about the content these days. We create place for you to make content, to create the memories. And it's a very special place to be. So, and Vikings is a good way to start if you're a little nervous about what we do. And we get that. Vikings is a lovely place to start because it's just a very calm, chilled day. We have our raiders coming across and making noise and doing all sorts of stuff occasionally as well. But you'll love it. You'll love it. I'm excited to have you there, Dawn. I think you're going to fit in just fine and be part of the tribe.
Yeah, honestly, I think it's my other family already, and you guys don't even know that you've secretly adopted me, but it's cool. You'll learn.
We know.
I already come with stag horns and wolf heads and all sorts of things, so
Good.
I'm right in there.
Best thing.
But it's honestly something I feel you guys are a bit of ahead of the curve on here in South Africa, because I watch a lot of content from different artists and performers and festivals from around the world. And I think there is a very large culture, especially in Europe, of sort of musical acts and festivals that really cater for alternative lifestyles, that sort of more creative based individuals, not your sort of generic festivals. And I think that it is also going back historically to a lot of ancestral roots in Europe. And I feel like here in South Africa, you guys are a bit ahead of everyone on that curve, and sort of catching that wave before it really gets stuck in. And I do think there's a big following that's already been building here, whether it's in the cosplay scene or whether it is in the sort of medieval Ren Fair scene. But I really see so much of that happening overseas, huge amounts of that going on.
Yeah.
And here in South Africa, you guys are like some of the only ones, and definitely the ones that jumped in first.
Well, that's exactly it. And I don't think either Meryl or Meryl likes to say she knew. I didn't know. And when we started, I kind of went, this thing will gain traction, but it will eventually peter out. And Medieval Fair was in its 12th year this year, and our biggest one yet. And every year we go, is this the year where people are going to stop wanting to come? And every year we've got a very firm base of people that haven't missed a single one in 12 years. And we've got a brand new group of people coming in every time. And it is exactly as you say. We are super grateful for the likes of TikTok and Instagram, where they're now highlighting these Ren fairs and these medieval fairs happening overseas, because they're a massive culture there. And in South Africa, we don't get that. So we were definitely, I think, a little ahead of our time. And now it's starting to go, oh, this is actually happening.
Yeah.
We get a lot of imitators, and we get a lot of people who try to take on what we do, underestimating just what the job is. And we are also, unfortunately, in this country, quite we can't go the route that those big festivals overseas do. For example, there's no one in the country that does on horseback jousting. We are, however, working on it, because if we can't find it, we make it. If we can't get it, we figure it out. But I think we do a jolly good job, especially at Medieval Fair, of holding the South African flag high. We get requests 3-4 times a year. Please come to Cape Town. Please come to PE. Please come to Durban. But again, people underestimate what exactly goes into it. And working with our venue, Greensleeves Medieval Kingdom in Joburg, that in itself is a performing character. So we were a bit ahead of it, but now we're finding our stride. And all of these little extras that we bring in, all of it just creates for us that community of, it's okay to be the bookish, the fantasy, the I like to dress up on weekends with fairy wings. No one's going to judge you. Come play in our playground, because here you're embraced and you're loved. You're loved.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I think that it's really, like you said, people don't understand necessarily the quantity of work that goes into organizing something like this, because it's hard enough organizing a generic festival. And when I say generic festival, I work with a lot of them and I love them, don't get me wrong, because they give us a platform to perform at. But it's hard enough to organize vendors, liquor, beverages, whatever you want to talk about there, and big marquee tents and stages. Just looking at that and performers, it's a lot. And now you're
Yeah,
adding in, you know, medieval sort of sword fighting, you're adding in gaming, you're adding in all sorts of activities aside from just those that every other festival would
experiences.
organize. And you
Yeah.
guys are doing it with a team of two. That is
So
absolutely remarkable.
yeah, we are very, very lucky. And this is again where I consistently push the community thing, because whilst the driving force is myself and Meryl, we are the brains behind Alter Egos. We have managed, and please don't get me wrong when I say this, it's not meant to be derogatory, but we have collected the most incredible, incredible group of people on our journeys. The first one we ever did was the two of us. And then we went, hey, we quite like you and your horse and cart. We'll keep you. And this beer guy is really lekker. And between our vendors and our performers and our cast and our crew and our volunteers, these are guys who come out just because they want to be a part of something magical. And I'll tell you something, we are so grateful for them, because my team alone, just my cast of people who character up and who go and interact with the crowds and who help me run my games, I couldn't replace them for the world. So we are so lucky with the group that we've surrounded ourselves with. And again, it's a family of like-minded individuals who think that what we do is brilliant and give us their time and their talents and their efforts to help us bring this together. The vendors are the same. Our suppliers, we've had the same suppliers for 12 years, because we believe in creating relationships. So they know what's expected of them, and we don't, you know. So but let me tell you something, Dawn, one thing for sure, for anyone who organizes events, 12 years we've been doing this. Prior to that, it was for 4 years doing just random flea markets. We learn something every single event. There is no such thing as copy paste. We wake up and we go, we did this, we should have done it better this way. And
Yeah.
that's why it continues, because next year we level up and we get better. We are never not learning and never not putting out fires.
Or creating them when necessary.
Correct, correct. It's not for the faint of heart, but I have gratitude every day for the people that I've managed to surround myself with, and for our partners who are long suffering, long suffering. You know, my poor boyfriend is being slapped in fishnets and high heels on the weekend for the fourth year in a row, and he never questions it. He just does it. So we're very lucky with the people we've got in our corner.
You know, that's so funny, because I literally said to my band a while ago, okay, guys, time to level up. We're going to dress in character from here on out. And they kind of looked at me and
Brilliant.
they went, you should have led with that. Uh, like before you started the band. And I was like, well, I mean, you know me. Did you not think that was coming? And so now they're sort of now they're sitting there dressed in raven masks and all sorts of other weird and wonderful things. And my
Oh,
partner's the
brilliant.
same. It's like, sorry, tonight you're coming out, and what do you want to be? Who are you tonight? Would you like to be deaf? Are you
That's
carrying
it.
a scythe? What is it? What's your vibe this evening? You know?
I love that. That who do you want to be tonight? Like that for me is how we live our lives. And what would you like to dress up as today? And there's just it's just what a fantastic way to live. Can you imagine not living like that, where you don't
Absolutely,
get
yeah.
to imagine and do cool stuff? So you know, I love it. I love being surrounded by creatives.
Do you know what I think? It's an incredible thing to also inspire creativity in other people. Because, like you say, a lot of people have their day to day, they dress in a suit, they go to work, or, you know, they show up for their Zoom meetings in half a suit and pajama pants, whatever it might be. But,
Yeah, yeah,
like, they're not. They're not free to just explore their creativity the way you or I might be. And
100%.
I'm always grateful when I look at my life and I think about what I get to do with my day and how I get to live. I get to explore diverse creativity, whether it is artwork through to, you know, sculpture and festival decor and fire dancing and music and live performance.
Exactly.
It's the whole spectrum of whatever creativity comes my way. I just jump right into it. And so many people just have that absence in their life. And I feel, especially in a day and age where we've kind of lost authenticity and we've lost a bit of originality in our lives, and we've sort of almost just giving our creativity away now to AI and to all sorts of other things, to have something
Yes.
real world, something really authentic and real world that people can physically participate in is hugely important for our continued development as like a conscious species, you know?
Yeah. And especially for the younger generation, we have a whole group when we were doing Discworld Day, which of course, I mean, again, a confession, I was only introduced to Terry Pratchett 5 years ago or 6 years ago when we started the festival. And I said to Meryl, Terry, who, what now? And she said, right, here's 36 books. You've got 3 weeks to read them because we're hosting a festival. And these fans will come for you with pitchforks if you don't know what you're talking about. And Discworld became one of my absolute favorite festivals to host. And it was so refreshing to see so many younger people, and I'm talking early teens, children, arriving at these festivals knowing the magic of Terry Pratchett. And it's the same to see, whilst our adults, our events are adult centric, we do cater to the children and we encourage it because we want the kids to come out and to experience it's okay to be imaginative. Just going back to, I've got a funny story that you were saying about the corporate vibes. One of our very first medieval fairs, and it's my favorite story to tell, we had a group of rugby boys arrive at our festival. And I don't know what they thought they were getting into, but your typical private school, four-ways but jocks, right?
Wow.
And I watched these guys, yeah, wow, indeed. And I watched these guys literally sit, drink the beer, and make fun of people for a good hour. And I thought, I'm not going to say anything. Let's just leave it. And about 2 hours into the festival, the leader of the bunch came up and found me because I've always got the mic, so I look like I'm important. And he tapped me on the shoulder and he said, ma'am, I'm very sorry to bug you, but we feel very left out. Where can we find a costume? And I sent them beetling off to my costume store, and these boys spent the rest of the day in plastic crowns with capes around their necks, sword fighting and throwing cabers and I went, right, there's my point. The too cool for school arrive and go, I suddenly feel like the outcast. How do I get involved? And that's why I say to people, please don't be afraid to come and play with us because you're going to love it. And you can just do whatever you want. But yeah, it's, as you say, creativity for me these days is so vast. Everybody's a creative. But it's what you do with that creativity to inspire and to encourage that is important.
Absolutely. And I think that is one of the most powerful statements. And I think I'm really glad you said that because that's what this whole podcast is really about. It's about chatting to people who are creative, who are sort of exploring creativity in all of its diversity and inspiring others to jump into that pool. Because I think
Yeah,
creativity is how we have connected across cultures, across racial division, across linguistic divisions. And it's really what
100%.
keeps us moving forward, and keeps us solving problems. And I think,
Yeah,
especially in society that is currently on a global level as divided as we are, creativity is a uniting force,
yeah.
and I'm really, really so, so proud to know you guys and to know that you are striving towards the same sort of goals that I am. And I love that.
Well, we can't wait to have you with us. And as I say, for me, I have an awesome, whilst I have a lot of pride in what we have put together, for me, it's mainly gratitude. Things like I've watched vendors, very creative people who've come to me and gone, I don't have the guts to put my stuff out there. And I said, you know what, come to our little festival, come just put it there. And if nobody buys it, it's okay. You've just got to move in a different direction. And I've watched these guys go from strength to strength to the point that they've been able to leave their full-time jobs. And there's a lot of pride in that little, people who nobody had ever heard their voice coming out and using us as a springboard. That's a great place to be. But whilst we have provided this place, these people don't realize how they save us every time they come to our festivals. And I've got, a 10-year-old come and give me a hug and go, thank you, thank you, thank you. I found my runes, or I found my dad's drinking horn for Christmas. And we're just providing something I think that is so important alongside creators such as yourself, alongside performers and actors and vendors and crafters. And it is just a community that I think we are very proud to have put out there. And we just need more people to realize it's okay. It's okay to come and play. It's okay to come and experience and tell other people, tell everybody else, because why keep the secret? It's not a secret.
Yeah. I think that people are almost intimidated and a little afraid of their own originality. And so I've kind of been saying to people, come out as your favorite character, whatever that may be. maybe your favorite character is yourself as you are. So show up as that. If that's what you want to be, then that's amazing. But if you want to
I
break out
love
of that a
that.
little and sort of spice that up, you're welcome to do so too.
Yeah.
And really just like you say, I think that childlike need to make believe, to play, really brings us back to that spark that gives us meaning in life. It makes us excited about every day. And I've had people walk away from my shows, which are obviously just a show. It's a much smaller
Yeah.
scale version
Yeah.
of what you guys do. Yours is a whole festival. Mine is just me and a couple of performers doing some things and occasionally some medieval sword fighting. But I think it really, I've had people walk away even from those small events to say, hey, this like made me feel like I wanted to go home and paint a picture or write a poem or
Yeah.
something I haven't done in years. And it made them feel alive again. And that's what this is about. Your festival makes people feel alive and excited about something.
And you can just end it right there with made people feel. That's it. Made people
Good.
feel. And that's how I do, both Meryl and I, both in our daily lives. I always like to say, as long as I had an impact on somebody when I left and it was a positive impact. So when I run my quiz nights, did I make one person smile? You're never going to please all the people, Dawn. It's one of those things we've learned.
Absolutely.
Did I make one person laugh tonight? Yes. Did one person come and say, yo, you're such a luck? Yes. If I had one person come to me at my festival and go, you made my year, I made one person feel something, that's one more person than yesterday. And that's all that it needs to be. So to be an inspiration, and to say, I'm sure as a musician yourself, you know that feeling, to have one person be inspired is the most incredible thing. And it's what keeps us going. 12 years
Absolutely.
ago, I was a lot younger and a lot more full of hope. And now I'm tired. But it is what keeps me going, is that feeling of, I know that I'm going to see a whole bunch of new people on the 1st of November at Vikings who've never experienced this. And I will get such joy out of watching them experience it for the first time. So maybe a little self-serving, but I feel like we've earned it.
No, I think we've got to hold on to those things, because if people like us give up what we're doing, the world is losing something very special and authentic and real. And we need more real,
I
more
agree.
authentic on a daily basis. From here on out, I think the more of that
Absolutely.
is more necessary than ever before. So we've got a few minutes left of this interview. So just give me any sort of pieces of information you feel are really important that people need to remember. Like, for example, we've said go and find the Vikings tickets on Quicket, check out the Alter
Yes.
Egos website for tickets, as well as to book your different festival activities. And yeah, just get working on your outfit. You guys have like a month. You guys have a month
Yes, yes.
to prep your most epic self and bring it to the show.
I apologize for my resident Hardy Dawes singing the song of their people out there. All right, so guys, my recommendation would be first things first and as soon as possible, quicket.co.za. You go and you search for A Viking Thing and it will come up. Your tickets are there. Children under 3 and dogs, socialized dogs get in for free. But the tickets are going to go up the week before the event. So jump now. And I'm not sure we're going to have tickets on the day. So please don't wait. If this enthralls you, come and check it out. In the meantime, if you'd like to see what kind of activities we're holding, you can go and check out Alter Egos, that's with an s.co.za. Click on the ticketing link and pre-book for Vikings. And you'll see, we've got firewalks. We're very excited to have Kobus the Viking with us. He's the most incredible motivational speaker. He's conducting glass walks, firewalks, ice bars. So a real authentic experience.
Wow.
You need to get in touch with your inner self. This is one you got to do. We're playing Viking games. We're building boats. We're fancy dressing. We are hunting for hammers. There is something. We are fighting for hammers. We are pillow fight. We're doing all sorts of stuff. So go and check it out. You do not have to pre-book. There will be some spots available on the day. But most importantly, sorry, Dawn, whether you dress up or you don't dress up, it doesn't matter. You are welcome. We've got over 70 crafters and vendors. Christmas is coming. Come and buy something from them that will support not only their small business, but will give whoever you are gifting something you're not going to find in the shops. And it is our last one for 2025. So it's going to be a party. We're going to have you there, Dawn, which is so exciting, some live music. It's going to be incredible. So not only come and supporting us, but supporting you as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's my first trip up to Joburg. So that's quite exciting for me.
Very cool.
And so I'm bringing my own folklore and fairy tale show up to Joburg for that weekend. And I'm super excited. You guys are like my main event. I'm very, very stoked about
We
that.
can't wait. We
And
can't
it's
wait.
so
We
perfect.
like being important.
You guys are, and
But
genuinely so ideally perfect for what I'm all about and what I talk about. And it's just like a match made in heaven.
for sure. And as you
Or in
mentioned
Valhalla.
earlier in the interview, what we always love to say to people when we find like-minded people like you is now you're stuck with us. So once you get in, there's no getting. I was going to make a comment about the cult, but let's not do that. It's not a cult. It's just, it's a family. And now we have you, and you are always going to be welcome. And everybody in your circle, I hope, is going to be welcome and will come and enjoy the day with us.
Well, I'm very excited. I've already had a bunch of people getting hold of me to find out more information on how they participate and how they buy tickets. So it's already
Yeah.
happening.
Of course it is. And it's going to be great. It's going to be great. And I say, we'll obviously also share all the links across and give you all the links and everything as well. But I'm looking forward to it. And I'd like to just check out that if anyone saw the interview that arrives at Vikings, to come and find me as well. I'll be on the microphone. You might not recognize me because I'll be covered in black paint, but come find me. I'm the loud one with the mic. Come say, hey, I saw the interview with Dawn. It was amazing. And yeah, I'd love to hear from you. Come and say hi. Don't be shy.
That's brilliant. And on that note, I am going to say thank you and see you soon.
See you soon. And thank you for the opportunity. I'm really, really very grateful.
Oh, such a pleasure. Collaboration is how we all grow. I totally agree.
100%. Thanks, Dawn.
Your father an exile and you soon to follow. You fled from these shores and you took to the seas. God showed you an island all green and inviting. In Greenland you found, over the seas. I cannot follow wherever you are. I cannot follow your path to the stars. With 500 souls, you fled from these green shores. 25 ships, all fully equipped. Half get to make it, whilst half of them perish in the perilous crossing to the land